Okay, what should I dial? Locked, and there's no way to enter a code or anything. Discreet and versatile. Strange nubs. I know I'm not supposed to pull levers where I don't know what they do, but... Now I remember why I didn't want to do that anymore. I like my leisure suit much better. I'm not touching that. Pretty handy when you can just take one of these things off again. I like my leisure suit much better. I'm not touching that. Maybe it's just a wetsuit hung up to dry.
Sure, Larry. Why else would there be a zipper across the mouth?
For the air hose. Totally logical. I wouldn't fit into that, hopefully. Why is it called a ball gag? I mean, it's not even funny. They don't look like they've been used, but I'll play it safe and keep my hands off them. I like beavers. They don't look like they've been used, but I'll play it safe and keep my hands off them. I wonder what's in there. I can't take those with me. That seems to be some sort of size scale. Seems to be some sort of size scale. I can't take those with me. That's fine, just the way it is. I can't take the... Locked, and there's no... Okay, what should I dial? That unlocked the safe. I'm curious to see what's in Swingle's file. Look at this pie. This must be the file Swingle was talking about. Ah, it's kind of sticky.
Only touch it with your fingertips. I don't want to even think about the diseases you could catch from that. Let me scan it for you instead. I'll put it all in my database so I can give you the information whenever you need it. Just don't hold me too close. Ew.
Okay.
There. I got it all.
What exactly is in the file?
Swingle has been very busy indeed. These are copies of historical documents from the crew that discovered the archipelago. Diary entries and letters, the captain's logbook, some pretty confused notes, and Swingle has also entered some notes of his own. The ship's crew actually entered this cavern of cosmic cognition that Swingle mentioned. To open it, they needed a keystone, which they found. At that point, the records become a little muddled. It seems they learned a lot about themselves, but for some of them, it wasn't very nice. What they learned led them to break the keystone into 4 pieces. Captain Muffington, Regibald Cockburn, Lady Gobbledick, and the Marquis de Carnard, they each kept 1 piece. They concealed the route to the cave so that no one would ever enter it again.
This sounds like a job for Larry Larper. What happened to them?
They all died under mysterious circumstances.
Tell me about the captain.
Muffington first settled on one of the islands, which to this day bears his name. But whatever he learned about himself in that cave, one night, he couldn't take it anymore. He tried to sail the Unsatisfied out of the archipelago with a small crew, but huge waves smashed his ship against the rocks. One of them was the legendary Phallus Rock, which is still worshipped today as a symbol of fertility.
So his part of the keystone probably sank there with him.
Probably.
What do you know about Cockburn?
Regibald Cockburn started a family with Lady Gobbledick. Oh, that's interesting. His daughter later took the name Marley.
Wait, that's Bobby's name too. I should ask her about that. So Cockburn lived happily ever after?
He died of a broken hip from sex addiction.
Just what I said. Oh, what a life.
Were you listening to me?
You're making it sound like sex addiction is a bad thing.
Whatever. Anyway, he was buried on Muffington Island.
Probably with his keystone. What happened to Lady Gobbledick?
She mysteriously suffocated. Not much information is available about her, except that she lived with Cockburn. Here's another one of his diary entries. My beloved Lady Gobbledick's grave must never be found by anyone. The dark truth must never be revealed. Only I know the way to her grave. It begins on, the entry ends there. It appears the second page is missing.
I have to find that second page to get to Lady Gobbledick's grave and find out more about her keystone. What happened to the Marquis?
The Marquis couldn't cope with what he learned about himself in the cave. He threw himself into the Kahlua volcano.
Oops. That means there's no trace of his keystone and it may have melted along with him.
But you could go to the volcano and look for clues.
Okay, so I have 4 keystones to find. And of course to locate the cavern of cosmic cognition itself. Is there any information in that file that points to where I can find it?
A number of things point towards Gofuku Island. Swingle has even entered some coordinates where he believes the cave might be. But even if you find the cave and all 4 parts of the keystone, you still have a problem.
I'm too sexy for my shirt?
No. You have to get Faith to go with you into that cave.
You mean I have to trick the dangerous armed cannibal lesbians to get an audience with their queen who has amnesia and wants to roast me?
Exactly.
As good as done.
And, Larry, I don't know if this is even a good idea. What those people learned about themselves in the cave back then, it drove some of them crazy. Who knows what could happen to Faith in that cave? Or to you. Cosmic knowledge, self-knowledge, endless pleasures. That cave could be dangerous, too.
We have no choice, Pi. Faith is confused and has memory loss. Maybe the cave will give her mind a nudge in the right direction. And if it somehow turns me into a sex-craved pervert at the same time, then...
Nothing will have changed.
Hey, I was going to say, then I'll just have to live with it.
Until you die of a broken hip or throw yourself into a volcano.
This is starting to make my head hurt, Pi.
Don't worry. I entered it all in your app.
What a blowhard. Not right at the moment. More in general. I can't take those with me. I'd better leave Swingle's toys here. He needs them more than I do.
You look like you want to explore my love cave again. Then again, you always look like that.
So that's a yes?
That's a no. Thanks. But I'm satisfied for the moment.
But I'm not.
Your problem.
Regibald Cockburn is your ancestor?
That's true. How did you find out about that?
He carries his brains in his pocket, sister.
Yeah, he does. Regibald was not exactly the climax of my family tree.
The stone downstairs in the lobby was his?
Yeah.
Larry, that must be one of the keystones.
Can I have the stone from the lobby? It's really pretty.
The only way I'd let it out of my hands is if I were to get another memento of Regibald Cockburn. Like maybe his legendary signet ring. It's supposed to have some truly extraordinary powers.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Regibald Cockburn?
There hasn't been that much written or recorded about him. He was deeply in love with Lady Gobbledick and led an uneventful life. I once tried to promote his alleged motto as a slogan for Kahlua, but the resonance wasn't there, so I gave it up.
What was it then?
If it moves, you can screw it.
Nice motto, but a bad slogan.
Exactly.
Where can I find the Cavern of Cosmic Cognition?
Nobody knows for sure. According to legend, somewhere on Gofuku Island. I used to drag tourists there to show them the remains of the advanced civilization, the stone heads. They weren't particularly impressed. That's why I don't bother anymore.
But if there are traces of an advanced civilization there...
I call it advanced civilization because that's all we have here. It looks to me like some people who couldn't tolerate the native mushrooms washed up here a long time ago and built strange things. And the founding fathers weren't here of their own free will either, but were shipwrecked here instead.
Somehow a lot of people have ended up in this archipelago that way.
There are still some of the guys who came here for the festival near the cave on Gofuku. I mean, why not? As long as they don't break anything.
From a purely commercial standpoint, that makes sense.
That's what I said. Of course, I make sure not too many people disappear. Nobody here wants any news of that to get out. Nobody.
I get it already. Did you know that there are female cannibals here?
Of course.
And that doesn't frighten you?
Of course. I mean, I make sure that they don't abduct any guests who are particularly well off. But say, if someone is clearly way behind on their payments.
But aren't tightwads usually tough?
I'm not eating them myself.
Well, you certainly made a meal out of me.
Of course, I make sure not too many people disappear. Nobody here wants any news of that to get out. Nobody.
I get it already. Is the volcano still active?
It's actually quite active. That's why nobody goes there. Of course, there are always a few crazy adventurers who see that as a tough challenge. But then, that's the lava's problem, not mine.
Where's there an island around here with a particularly dangerous reef?
If I tell you that, will you feel impelled to go there?
Maybe.
With your so-called raft? Then it's better I don't tell you or I'll have you on my conscience.
I'm leaving now, and maybe another woman will want to have sex with me.
If she doesn't have anything better to do.
Okay, let's see what I can do. What's up?
Do you have any idea what happened to all that junk I collected?
Junk? What junk?
The junk that was hanging on that hook.
The raft-shaped junk?
The junk-shaped junk.
I, recycled it for you. Isn't that great? Anything for the planet. So how's that bird doing now?
I had to scrub it for hours to get the oil out of his feathers. But I did it.
Great news!
I set him free in the jungle, even in a spot where there was a female close by. But as soon as he saw it, he panicked and ran in the opposite direction.
That's weird. What a strange bird. Another animal in distress somewhere?
Not at the moment. Would you help me if the alarm went off somewhere?
Sorry, I have a lot of animals to take care of myself.
That's definitely a good reason.
Once you're done at Kahlua, where will you go from here?
I don't know yet. I go where I'm needed. There are still enough people in this world who go through life without thinking about others, always throwing things away, tipping them over, breaking them, stealing them.
Sometimes there's just no other way.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. See you later. It's already perfectly built. It's all...
Larry, Swingle had also collected some interesting information about this island.
I have to admit, I am curious.
Gofuku Island holds traces of a lost civilization. Swingle suspected that this cavern of cosmic cognition is located here somewhere.
Good to know.
However, this is also the island with all the death traps left behind by an ancient civilization.
Oh! Maybe you can even eat it.
And maybe you'll start to glow from within.
I wouldn't mind. Oops, back here again. This is one confusing jungle. That's not the kind of bush I like. Nothing happened. Interesting stone ring with strange symbols. It's got weird symbols on it. That won't help. I can see something through the hole. cute. I can see some. That's the upper ring. Nothing happened.
But we can't get away from here.
I know. I feel the same way you do, in case you haven't noticed. We can't just play LARP anyway.
And how are we supposed to do that without a game master?
We just make it up ourselves?
Have you ever made anything up yourself?
No. But being a game master can't be that hard.
You also said making a computer game wasn't hard.
Hey, and nobody told me you need an engine for that. And it was the publisher's fault anyway.
We didn't have one.
But they would have screwed everything up if we had found one.
Whatever. We need a game master. And game masters don't just fall from the heavens. Besides, can't even enter the ruins.
We could play right here.
No, there's not enough atmosphere.
You know what? I've had enough. Yeah, we're out of here.
Hey, what are you two doing here? Are you selling pie phones in the jungle now? And did they make you wear those clothes?
Oh, damn, Finley. It's that weirdo from New Lost Wages.
Don't move, Kyle. Maybe he won't notice us.
I'm already talking to you.
Damn, it didn't work.
What are you doing here on the island?
We came here for the Galactic Festival. It was supposed to be a one-of-a-kind event. Galactic creatures, lots of action and music. They promised that nothing would be impossible.
And women.
Yeah, loads of stars were supposed to be here.
They weren't.
Total flop. No stars. We almost drowned.
And then there was the storm.
All a total waste. But we found a few like-minded people here and we thought, huh, let's do a LARP.
I have no idea what a LARP is.
A live action role-playing game. We slip into the roles of characters with whom we can identify.
Or who are completely different from ourselves.
And then we immerse ourselves completely in a world of fantasy for a while.
Doesn't sound half bad.
But it all depends on the quality of the game master. They lead us through the fantasy world, and if they can't do that...
Unfortunately, we don't have one at the moment.
How does that LARP thing of yours work?
We experience the wildest adventures in a world of fantasy. Each of us slips into a role, and the game master tells us what we experience.
That's it?
It's harder than it sounds.
A game master has to know exactly what they're doing.
Otherwise, it gets really boring.
Hey, I could be your game master.
Who? You?
You don't look the type.
You have no idea just how much imagination I really have.
You just have to have enough for each of us here.
Of course.
But we also want to play in a location that's just perfect for us.
What do you have in mind?
We want to be heroes and tackle deadly traps.
The more dangerous, the better.
You know anywhere like that?
I have to find the perfect location for the LARP first.
Well, let us know when you find it.
How come there aren't any women in your LARP?
They're just not interested in that sort of thing.
None of them wanted us to save them. We would have chained them up so nicely. They wouldn't even have had to say anything. Just sit there and look pretty. Like that was too much to ask.
Now we have to leave it all to our imaginations.
Oh, I had to handle it that way myself when I was young.
I'm 29.
I have to get going. I can't change those. They look pretty old. Candles always come in handy. I can't operate it the way it is. Something's missing. The socket's secure now. The light shines here, on this exact spot on the pedestal. Especially good with milk. How useful. Hi, I'm Larry Larper, and you look like a time traveler.
What? What on earth gave you that idea? I'm a janitor.
Now, that would have been my next guess.
Will comply.
Interesting name you have there.
You can thank my parents for that.
What were their names?
Reese and Eve.
And in this LARP, you are what?
An intergalactic janitor, of course.
Isn't that a little unimaginative? Isn't a LARP about slipping into completely different roles?
But why should I completely abandon my innate abilities? Besides, a mop is a weapon not to be underestimated. It's kind of like the Swiss Army knife of cleaning equipment.
I have been to a lot of places, but it wasn't until I arrived on this island that I truly understood the word special.
What?
Don't listen to her. She has a problem with men like us who have extraordinary gifts. So what do you do as a janitor?
Cleaning services.
Do you work at a school or something?
No way! I'm a freelance janitor. If the dirt gets bad and you just don't know, who you gonna call?
You?
You know it! Will Comply gets everything clean. I can yell at school children, tenants, or employers too if that's what the client wants. Costs extra though.
How'd you end up here?
I was looking for a new professional challenge, so this galactic festival came along at the perfect time. So I thought, hey, why not apply in the corresponding costume? So I made this one myself, got the job, and, well, I'm sure you saw how that turned out. Now I don't know how to get back to new lost wages, and somehow I ended up with these guys. They told me that they needed more players for their LARP. I've never done anything like that before. But I'm flexible.
As game master, I can offer you a great story.
Really? Can I clean up in there too? Really? The best would be if it takes place in a filthy dump where I have to make a heroic effort to clean up. Is there anywhere like that around here?
I have to find the perfect location for the LARP first.
Good, then let me know.
Over and out. Hey, Smokey Bear, you're here too.
Larry Laffer. Red shirt. This is the man I was telling you about, who opened my eyes to the great truth.
Oh, it's an honor. I hope I too may experience an awakening like that.
What have you been up to, Smokey?
Not so loud. They have microphones everywhere. If I'm not careful, they'll track me down again.
Oh, right.
I had to leave New Lost Wages in a hurry because they picked up my scent. They were everywhere. The man on the bus who kept looking at me, the ticket machine was watching me, and then there was this cat. It was in league with them. I then went to Louisiana for a conference on the secret world conspiracy. That's where I learned so many more hidden truths. 111! That's where I also received a flyer for a galactic festival here on this island. There were supposed to be lectures about the aliens who landed here a long time ago and founded a high culture. Supposedly, they hid their profound knowledge about mankind here. A place where you can discover the final insight into yourself.
I heard about that, too.
That's what I'm saying! There must be something to it. Anyway, the festival was a disaster. I don't know who organized it, but nothing worked. But at least I met these other folks who are organizing a LARP. Don't tell them. But I think they actually believe it's just a game. And that's when it's the path to true self-discovery.
Who calls their kid Red Shirt?
We didn't want to bother to think one up first, and then have him drop dead anyway.
What?
That's what those two guys over there said. I have no idea what they meant either.
But I'm an important member of the crew. We agreed on that.
I don't understand any of this, but those two seem to know what they're talking about.
My real name is Captain Dickhard.
Whatever. Anyway, we're here for a LARP.
What's supposed to happen in this LARP?
I want to find traces of an ancient civilization. They could be behind the current conspiracy.
And I expect an interstellar adventure. Alien races with whom we can live in peace. A real step forward for mankind. Wisdom and peace.
Earlier, you said something about wanting to kick some alien ass.
For purely dramaturgical reasons, of course. Besides, I'd really like to experience a fist fight against a lizard man where he shreds my shirt and everyone sees my muscles.
Lizard man? Where? I never should have thrown my old tinfoil hat in the trash. This new one is crap.
Of course, it can't be a first contact because that would require following a different directive.
Where are the lizard men?
Easy, Smokey, easy. I haven't seen any.
That only means that they're well hidden.
But without a game master, nothing's gonna happen. Those two bozos over there know exactly how this should work.
I could be your game master.
You think this is something for you?
Oh, let him give it a try. As long as I can fight Lizard Man. But we also need the perfect setting. Did you find something?
I have to find the perfect location for the LARP first.
We'll wait here.
See you later. See you later. Okay. That won't. Better. The stone disc fits on there perfectly. The stone disc fits on there perfectly. The stone disc fits on there perfectly. Now it looks like all the discs are in place. Nothing happened. I can see something. I can see.